Nobody likes narcissists in real life, but for some reason, many of us love a good all-narcissist on the movie screen. Maybe it's the revealing of their secret vulnerabilities, or the character development they sometimes go through, or simply their inevitable downfall, but whatever the reason, many of us have a tough time looking away. In this video, we will explore the 10 biggest movie screen narcissists that we all love to hate, and that we maybe hate that we love. The last one is the biggest offender and yet resonated with so many on such a deep and emotional level that it was disturbing. Let us know if we've missed some great movie narcissist on this list, and let's get started. Number 10. Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan Belfort is narcissism personified, a human tornado of ego, ambition, and pure, unfiltered self-love. Leonardo DiCaprio's portrayal is so electric that you can't help but be mesmerized, even as you're absolutely horrified. This is a man who sees the entire world as his personal playground. Every scene is a performance, every moment an opportunity to prove his own superiority. Fast cars, beautiful women, mountains of cash, these aren't just possessions to Belfort. They're proof of his own magnificence. What makes his character so fascinating is the pure, unapologetic way he embraces his own worst impulses. He wants to be the most successful person in the universe, and is willing to do absolutely anything to prove it. His narcissism isn't just a personality trait, it's a full-time occupation. The genius of the character is how he makes pure, unbridled self-obsession look almost aspirational. He's so confident, so convinced of his own brilliance, that you almost find yourself getting swept up in his manic energy. The belief in himself is so strong that even today, after all of his misdeeds are public, many young people see the Wolf of Wall Street as a heroic figure and they aspire to be more like him, no matter the cost. Number 9. Regina George from Mean Girls. Regina George is the absolute queen bee of narcissism. Played with pitch-perfect precision by Rachel McAdams, she's a masterclass in self-obsession wrapped in designer clothing and perfectly applied lip gloss. Every moment of her screen time is a performance, and she knows exactly how to command an audience. What makes Regina so fascinating is her complete and total belief in her own superiority. She doesn't hope she's the most important person in the room, she knows it. Her entire world is a carefully constructed stage where she's the only star that matters. Those perfectly timed put-downs. Calculated. Her ability to turn any situation to her advantage. An art form. It's narcissism distilled to its purest form. But here's the genius of Regina, she's so unapologetically herself that you can't look away. She doesn't just walk into a room, she owns it. Her confidence is so absolute that it becomes its own kind of power. The beauty of her character is how she reveals the performative nature of high school social dynamics. Every eye roll, every smile is a strategic move in her personal chess game of popularity. She practically bathes in narcissism in every single scene. Number 8. Tony Stark from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If narcissism could be weaponized, Tony Stark would be its ultimate manifestation. Robert Downey Jr. became the human embodiment of ego, brilliance, and self-love. This is a character who literally builds a high-tech suit of armor that's essentially a monument to his own genius. Tony's narcissism isn't just a character trait, it's his entire operating system. He's so confident in his intelligence that he sees the world as a complex puzzle waiting to be solved by him and him alone. Every quip, every sarcastic comment, every technological breakthrough is a testament to his belief that he's the smartest person in any room. But here's the fascinating twist, his narcissism is actually his superpower. Where another character might be crippled by self-doubt, Tony transforms his ego into pure innovation. Take, for example, the arc reactor. It's basically a shiny, glowing monument to his own brilliance. What makes Tony truly compelling is how his narcissism evolves. He starts as a weapons manufacturer more in love with himself than anything else, and gradually transforms into a hero who channels that massive ego into protecting the world. It's like watching self-love become a form of redemption, which is why he may be one of the most lovable narcissists on this list. Number 7. Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. If narcissism could have a horror movie manifestation, it would be Christian Bale's Patrick Bateman. This is a character so in love with his own reflection that he might literally kill to maintain his perfect image. Every moment is a carefully choreographed performance of masculinity, success, and pure, terrifying self-obsession. Bateman's morning routine isn't just a routine, it's a love letter to his own perfection. Each exercise, each precisely applied product is a ritual of self-worship. He doesn't just want to look perfect, he wants to be perfection incarnate. His narcissism is so complete that the line between reality and his own fantasies becomes completely blurred. What makes him truly chilling is how his self-love transforms into something far darker. His narcissism isn't just about looking good, it's about maintaining a perfect image at absolutely any cost. Every murder, every psychotic break is ultimately about preserving his own carefully constructed persona. The brilliance of the character is how he reveals the dark underbelly of consumerism and corporate culture. Bateman is what happens when self-love becomes so extreme that it breaks through into complete madness. Number 6. Emperor Commodus from Gladiator. Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of Emperor Commodus is narcissism elevated to a historical art form. This is a walking psychological study of what happens when a deeply insecure person is given absolute power. Commodus's narcissism is rooted in a desperate need for validation. He craves deeply to be loved, admired, respected, but also feared. Every action is a performance designed to prove his own worth, especially compared to the legacy of his father, the truly great Marcus Aurelius, who Commodus believes never truly appreciated him. He murders his own father not out of pure evil, but out of a twisted desire to be recognized. His arena performances, his constant need to prove himself in combat, are all manifestations of his deep-seated insecurity. Phoenix plays him with such nuanced complexity that you can't help but be mesmerized. He's simultaneously terrifying and pathetic, a man so consumed by his own need for validation that he would destroy everything around him to get it. Number 5. Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. Cruella de Vil is the ultimate fashion-obsessed narcissist. Her entire existence is a performance of pure, unfiltered self-importance. This is a villain with a cruel and extravagant desire. She wants a coat made from literal puppies, because somehow, her fashion statement is worth more than hundreds of puppy lives. What makes Cruella fascinating is how her narcissism is completely intertwined with her sense of style. She doesn't just want to look good, she wants to be a walking work of art, a living, breathing fashion statement that everyone must acknowledge. Her black and white hair, her dramatically over-the-top outfits, her entire persona is designed to scream "look at me" at the highest possible volume. The brilliance of her character is how she transforms pure self-love into something bordering on sociopathic. Most people want to look good. Cruella wants to look good so badly that she'd literally skin puppies to create the perfect coat. It's narcissism taken to its most extreme conclusion. Number 4. Gordon Gekko from Wall Street. Greed is good isn't just a line, it's the entire philosophy of Gordon Gekko, played with razor-sharp precision by Michael Douglas. This is narcissism dressed in a perfectly tailored suit, capitalism personified as a human being so in love with himself that the entire world becomes his personal playground. Gekko doesn't just want to be successful, he wants to be the most successful person in the universe. Every interaction is a transaction, every relationship a potential opportunity for personal gain. His famous monologues aren't just speeches, they're extended love letters to his own brilliance, delivered with such confidence that you can't help but be mesmerized. What makes him truly compelling is how he represents a certain type of 1980s corporate monster. He's the ultimate financial predator, someone who sees the entire economic landscape as his personal hunting ground. His narcissism isn't just about money, it's about power, about proving his own superiority in a world he sees as fundamentally competitive and nothing else. Number 3. Don Draper, Mad Men. Jon Hamm's Don Draper is a walking contradiction of narcissism and deep-seated insecurity. On the surface, he's the epitome of 1960s masculine cool, confident, successful, seemingly perfect. But underneath, he's a man so desperately trying to maintain an image that he's essentially created an entire identity from scratch. His narcissism is fascinating because it's a defense mechanism. Don doesn't just love himself, he's constantly constructing and defending a version of himself that's completely fabricated. Every perfectly delivered pitch, every carefully constructed persona is a way of hiding the deeply insecure man underneath. What makes Don truly compelling is how his narcissism is both his greatest strength and his ultimate weakness. He can sell anything, including himself, but he can't seem to sell himself the truth about who he really is. His entire life is a performance, a carefully crafted illusion of success without any real substance to back it up. Number 2. Dr. Gregory House from House MD. Dr. House is the poster child for narcissistic brilliance that somehow makes being impossible look absolutely irresistible. Here's a character who turns self-obsession into a superpower, wrapped in a package of medical genius and razor-sharp wit. House is the worst type of narcissist, one with a PhD in being right. Every sarcastic comment, every cutting observation is carefully designed to prove one fundamental point: he's the smartest person in the room, and everyone else is painfully, laughably beneath him. But here's the crazy part: we absolutely love him for it. His narcissism isn't just about ego, it's a performance art. When House limps into a room, he doesn't just enter, he makes an entrance. His disability becomes another tool in his arsenal of manipulation, using people's expectations and sympathies as weapons. "Everybody lies" is his mantra, and boy, does he live it. He's so convinced of his own superiority that the rules of human interaction simply don't apply to him. What makes House such a compelling narcissist is that underneath all that bravado, there's genuine, breathtaking brilliance. He solves medical mysteries that nobody else can, turning his massive ego into something almost heroic. That's the true magic of House's narcissism. He knows exactly how brilliant he is, and he doesn't waste a single second trying to make you feel better about it. Despite all the narcissism, we can't deny that House is truly brilliant, and that's why so many love-hate him. Number 1. The Joker from Joker. This movie character absolutely redefined what it means to be a complex, mesmerizing narcissist on screen. It is a character study that makes you simultaneously uncomfortable and weirdly sympathetic. Phoenix's Joker is the ultimate poster child for narcissistic personality disorder, but here's the fascinating twist: he's a narcissist born from profound pain and systematic rejection. Imagine feeling so invisible that your only pathway to significance is through total chaos and destruction. That's Arthur Fleck in a nutshell. What makes this character so magnetic is how he transforms his own victimhood into a grotesque form of empowerment. He demands attention, quite literally painting his face and turning himself into a walking, talking performance art piece of trauma and rage. Every laugh is chilling, every movement is theatrical. The genius of Phoenix's portrayal is how he makes narcissism look like a survival mechanism. Arthur doesn't just want to be seen, he wants to be understood. And isn't that something we all secretly crave? That's why audiences were simultaneously repulsed and riveted. He's the narcissist who reflects our own deepest fears of being forgotten, overlooked, and fundamentally misunderstood. Absolutely unforgettable. Absolutely terrifying. Absolutely brilliant. What do you think? Is there a movie narcissistic city we've left out? Or maybe there should be another narcissist at the top of the list? Let us know in the comments, we'd love to hear from you. Like the video and subscribe for more content like this. We recommend the video on the biggest celebrity narcissists next.